I'd just like to start by saying on behalf of myself and the rest of the wedding party, thank you to Robyn and Vin for inviting us all to be a part of their special day. Beautiful and heartwarming wedding vows. I think we can all agree that today's ceremony was thoughtful and beautiful. So, as everybody kind of just did, I'd like to ask once again, everybody take a moment, put their hands together, and just clap in recognition of all the hard work and countless hours that Robyn and Vin, a bit more so Robyn, have put into making this day so incredible. You know, when I was writing the speech, I found myself racking my brain, trying to find one story to exemplify just how perfect these two are for each other. Oddly enough, I kept coming back to this one memory from almost a decade ago of a conversation I had. It was a conversation that, oddly enough, neither Robyn and Vin were even in. One with my parents talking about how we were going to do seating for the big Gallagher Thanksgiving that year. I'd asked my parents whether or not my sister and I were going to be relegated to what was once the kids' table, but by then was known as the cousins' table. While my mother quickly said, yeah, probably, she then corrected herself to say, well, the cousins' table and Vin. See, I've remembered those words all these years, not only because I totally forgot that Vin was going to be there, but more so because I never thought of it as the cousins and Vin. To me, it never was the cousins and Vin. To us, Vin, you were always one of us. You were always one of the family. And beyond being a wonderful addition to the family, I just want to say, I don't think I've ever seen two people and perfect for each other you two are. I mean, hear that. Thinking back to COVID, I remember everybody was locked up, going crazy, bored out of their minds. But there were just two people I couldn't help but feel envious of. The two, and I say this with all the love in my heart, biggest Harry Potter nerds I have ever met that were stuck together in England, of all places. What was that about? Seriously, you guys took a horrible situation and you really made it seem almost like heaven. Sorry. So, I'm going to ask you all to raise your glasses and join me in toast. To Robyn and Vin, I wish you the best on this long journey ahead of you, though knowing you two is going to be wacky, wild, and wonderful. And to Vin, I want to say, finally, officially, welcome to the family. I love you, man.
I am so incredibly happy for the both of you. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of such a big day. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Julia, Robyn's maid of honor, and her younger cousin, and Jack's sister. As I look at Robyn sitting there in her wedding gown, I am overwhelmed by emotions and memories. For as long as I can remember, Robyn and I have had a pact that we would be each other's maids of honors at our weddings, and I still honestly cannot believe the day is here when I can do that for her. Robyn, for the past 25 years, you have been my role model, my confidant, and my partner in crime. Despite being 6 years apart, there never seemed to be anything that we couldn't do together. Growing up, I wanted to be just like you, and who can blame me? If Robyn had something that she was wearing, I needed it. If Robyn liked a book or a show or a movie, I made sure I loved that book or show or movies. If she had a hobby or joined any camps, you can best believe that I would be doing the same thing the next day. when Robyn decided to go move to England to get her master's degree, I decided to study abroad in the UK so at least we could be on the same continent. And now, while I might be slightly more subtle in copying Robyn, I still try and embody her every single day. With everything that I do, I try and imagine how Robyn would act. Robyn is one of the kindest, most selfless people you will ever meet, and in every situation, she acts with grace and patience and respect. And you have taught me to do so by example for so many years. Robyn, you are my first call no matter what, whether it is good or bad news. Robyn is someone who gets so excited to celebrate people's wins with her, and her excitement is infectious. It's impossible not to be positive when you're with Robyn. And you are also a shoulder to cry on. You're always there for support no matter what, and if you need solutions, Robyn will give you the best solutions you've ever had. No matter what, I want you on my team, and I am so blessed that you have been. You have been my best friend since before I could walk or talk, and I cannot imagine life without you. When I was searching for inspiration for this speech, I decided to reread our old texts, looking for cute texts about Vin. And while, believe me, there were plenty of those, I actually just spent hours rereading all of our old texts, going back to before 2015. And I learned two things by doing that. The first thing I learned was that we text a lot. And we coordinated a lot of Long Island Railroad train times. It didn't always seem to work. But in a more serious note, the second thing that I learned was that no matter what happened, the second it happened, no matter how big or small, we were the first people to know. You were my first text, my first call, no matter what was going on in my life. I think a text that you sent me in 2016 sums it up the best. At the time, I had a problem. Looking back now, it was incredibly inconsequential. However, at the moment, it felt like my world was ending. So I did what I always did, and I reached out to Robyn. And she responded to me by saying, "You are honestly more like my little sister than my cousin, and I love you to death. So anything you need, I'm here for you, no matter what it is." And that's just who Robyn is, someone who moves mountains to make the people in her life feel loved, cared for, and appreciated. I'm so happy that I can be here today to give you even a fraction of the support that you've given me for so many years. One of my favorite memories, and Robyn knows exactly what I'm about to say, is the summer where we shared a couch at my grandmother's house. Now, this was not a pull-out couch. This was your run-of-the-mill living room couch that barely had enough room for two people to sit down. However, for the summer, it was Robyn and I's shared bed, and every single night we slept head to toe. Now, not everyone would have been so gracious about sharing a couch with their 12-year-old cousin. However, Robyn has a special way of turning the mundane into magic. And I couldn't even tell you what we talked about that summer, but I can tell you that I have never giggled more. Robyn's laughter is infectious, and just being around her can turn any moment into a treasured memory. Even though I've since upgraded to a full-size bed, that memory and that summer will still stand out as one of my favorites. If my math is right, which it might not be, that summer we had 75 consecutive breakfasts together. We would sit every morning, 75 days in a row, at Grandma's table, eating cereal or waffles or pancakes, while Grandma fed the fish, and we talked about the day ahead. Robyn, you have an incredible ability to make anything feel possible. So every single morning that we started together, I felt so full of hope, and every day felt like it was so full of potential. And even though now we only get to share a handful of those breakfasts together a year, I look forward to them so much because I know that starting my day with you is the best way that you could ever start a day. And Vin, you are very lucky to be able to do that now. As Robyn's biggest fan, I always wondered who would be good enough for her. This person who constantly lights up the lives of everyone around her and sees the best in people, treating them with grace and kindness and respect. And secretly, I was always a little bit worried that this person would take Robyn away from me. However, Robyn then told me that her and Vin had started dating. Secretly, they had been dating for a while, but she didn't share that with me. And then it all clicked. I know they took things slow in the beginning, but as soon as Robyn told me that they were dating, I knew that it was forever. And I couldn't have been happier. Vin is the epitome of kindness, patience, and loyalty. He is thoughtful, caring, and never fails to make everyone around him feel comfortable and welcome. I'm incredibly lucky to have known Vin since I was 5 years old, if you can believe that. Our family jokes that we don't remember a time before Vin because he's been such an integral part of it for so long. He's been there for every holiday, every family event, and his sense of humor always brings a much-needed comic relief to certain days. He's the star at every game night, and even though he cheats, he does. Don't let him lie to you, he definitely does. I couldn't imagine him not being there. Vin has driven me and moved me out to and from college, which if you've ever done that, you know what a selfless task that is. And you can turn, Vin, really any situation into a positive one. Vin truly lights up every single room that he walks into. Together, Robyn and Vin are an unstoppable team. They complement each other in every way. They have a calm and steady presence that is perfectly balanced with their energy and excitement for life. They lift each other up, they support each other's dreams, and they are, truly, at the end of the day, the best of friends. Watching the two of them together, you can't help but believe in love. Vin, I cannot imagine our family without you, and I'm so grateful every day to have you in our lives. And Rob, in your words, not mine, you are honestly, truly more my older sister than my cousin, and I love you to death. I would do anything for you, and no matter what you need, I'm here for you. So if everyone could please raise their glass, I need to get mine. Cheers to your next chapter and a lifetime of breakfast together. I love you both.